What's up, Stokers? Welcome to the episode. We have a super fun episode. We have our boy Luis call in to talk about tantric sex, crazy stuff, and then we just get deep into some cues, into some legends, beefs, and babes. Make sure you stick around, watch the episode. But first, I want to give first off, we're going to be in Denver this weekend. We got shows, and then Salt Lake tickets are running out, so get your tickets now at chanjt.com. Then we got Atlanta next week. That's our last stop on tour for the year. If you're in those areas, get your tickets at chanjt.com. We're also brought to you by the legends at Vincero. What up, Vincero? Super stoked on the sponsors. Thank you for sponsoring the pod. So if you aren't familiar with them, they make these super sick watches and these stylish shades. I got a gold watch coming in that I'm really psyched on, and then these super stylish shades. So if you want to level up your fashion game, get on Vincero. Don't wait or it'll be too late. Get 20% off plus free shipping site-wide with our exclusive link, www.vincerocollective.com/go deep. Support our show and check them out at vincerocollective.com/go deep. Look good, feel good, and save big this holiday season with Vincero. We're also brought to you by the legends at Athletic Greens. Athletic Greens, my favorite supplements to take in the morning. It's just good, wholesome juice that'll get your nutrition up. Life is busy and your well-being is important. Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Visit athleticgreens.com/go deep for a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. That's athleticgreens.com/go deep. We're also brought to you by the legends at Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pure, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dinks are looking fresh and clean, because ho, 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 the holiday season is here and your balls have pubes, so make sure you trim them. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code GODEEP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code GODEEP. Manscaped, get your jingle balls ready for the holidays. What up? We're last but not least brought to you by the legends at True Classic. What up, True Classic? Guys, these are my favorite t-shirts. They fit super well. You know, I'm a huge stickler on t-shirts. These, if you want to get good form-fitting t-shirts that look good and make you feel good, get True Classic. Get 20% off, 25% off at trueclassic.com/go deep. Free shipping included on purchases over $100. That's 25% off at trueclassic.com/go deep. Santa won't be the only one slaying, thanks to True Classic. All right, let's start the show.
1, 2, 3, going deep, chatting JT.
3, 2, 1. Shake the ass and turn on Aaron's cream cam. What's up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep with Chad JT podcast. I'm here with my compadres. Thomas, what up?
Boom clap, Stokers.
And we're here in the stewed solo app. We were supposed to have Joe on, but miscommunication on my part. I forgot to confirm with him. And so it's just the dudes.
Yeah, we're more excited that Joe's not here. Fired up. Sorry, Joe. But it's for the best. Catch you on the next one, brother.
Everything happens for a reason.
I'm excited because Joe says he's going to try and grow his hair again.
I do. Oh, yeah, I saw that
and
in
I think
Chicago.
that's good.
Have you seen it? Because in Chicago, he had like some little sprouts. Is he?
He had the 5 o'clock shadow working. No, I haven't seen him since. And I don't think we've recorded a podcast since then, have we? Oh, yeah, we did. We did the draft.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so fun hanging with him and Strider out there.
Yeah, Joe's the best.
Joe had a great set.
He did. He crushed both.
He's a monster. Dude, so we're going to call someone?
Yeah, so this guy, we met him. So you got, actually the video's out now. Check out our video of us at the Psychedelic Conference, Stokers. We had a good time. We were on mushrooms. It was a fun hang. We were in my pony costumes. And that combo is just out of sight.
Yeah, it's meant for a good time. It's hard to have a bad time when you're in that costume. Even if you're not having the best time, you still look funny, which means you're having a pretty good time.
I was having a blast. And so we met this guy who, we saw him on stage originally. He was talking about breathing techniques. And he's talking about ayahuasca and being an anarchist. He's a cool guy. And then we got to talking to him. And on top of that, he's into tantric sex. And it was so eye-opening and so illuminating that we had to have him call in on the pod.
Yeah, let's talk to him.
So this guy comes a lot. Actually, He bones a lot. He doesn't come a lot, as you'll hear.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Lewis, how's it going, man?
Great. How you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here with you guys.
Dude, good to hear your voice, man.
Yeah, likewise, likewise. Happy to hear you. It's been a minute.
Yeah, we had that run-in at the site conference, and we had a couple conversations, but we didn't go into much depth. So we were hoping you could illuminate us on some of your teachings. So you were saying that you're able to have sex for like 7 hours at a time?
Well, the max that I've done is about 6. So, but I looked at my watch and I saw that it was like 6:15 a.m. because I was starting to get tired, and I was like, "Fuck, 6." So that was a bit surprising.
Yeah,
but
where did
yeah.
the day go?
Oh my gosh, where did we go? And we start with breathing. We either sitting or standing, and we hug each other, and we begin to breathe, and we begin to synchronize our breath and our pulse to where until it feels like we are very connected. And then from then it things develop organically. Like, she planted a seed in my mind, and she said men should not ejaculate more than once a month. And I said, wait a damn minute, because I really enjoy it. And then she was explaining to me that that's like our life force. And I said, okay, so am I not gonna get to have sex? And that was like what she said. That's the assumption. So the idea is to separate orgasm from ejaculation. And that kind of blew my mind, for like a month. And she gave me some exercises. And for instance, I had to play with myself until, kind of like edging almost, but with certain kind of breathing and not finish. So I would get to a point where shit got like so intense that the orgasmic explosion actually started from the tips of my toes and the tips of my fingers inward. Like, it's kind of undescribable. Like, I just started feeling that coming in through my arms and my legs, and every time, it was a little bit further in until it gets to the heart. So yeah, man, it's pretty incredible.
So is that when holding in the ejaculate, is that done through breathing, muscle contractions? Like, do you do exercises, or is it all mental?
Well, let me see how I can answer that clearly. I think all of those things, all of them apply. But as men, when we're having sex, oftentimes we look forward to the ending, right? Because that's what feels the most amazing. In my case now, and for the last, 2.5 years or so, I don't want to come, because like the actual experience is like orgasmic the whole time. And like, knowing that if I finish, like, I don't want to end that, I want to keep going. And yes, I've like, some people say, like, if you're healthy, you can keep going, after you go. Yes, I can. Like, my refractory time? Refractory time is like really low, but that's not what I want. It just feels, I saw that sex was just a part of the equation. Sex is, Tantra is like a whole way of life. And I remember, like, the very first class with Kendall, she said, the main thing with Tantra is reject nothing. And I'm like, okay, that's an interesting thing.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And then she was explaining to me like the idea of Aikido, for instance. When you're fighting with somebody that knows Aikido, they use your strength against you. So whatever comes, they accept it and they turn it around and use it. So that's kind of a similar thing with Tantra. So instead of, like, if you have a problem, instead of being against it, or like crying, or being angry, you accept it. And then once you do that, you're able to transmute it. So you take that everywhere in life. If you're able to, like, you cannot change something unless you take ownership of it first.
So is that related to, have you heard of the whole no fap movement, where the whole idea is a lot of guys from the internet aren't like masturbating so that they can contain their sexual energy and transmute it into other parts of their life? Is that similar?
Oh yeah, that's it has some similar aspects to it. There is, what Kendall mentioned was that the same energy that you use for sex is the same energy that you use for spiritual work. So if you are just depleted, then it's kind of challenging to move that into your spiritual endeavors. So that's why we try to not ejaculate as much. But I got into sex magic and some of the Discordian teachings also, and they talk about how you can actually use the moment of orgasm for manifestation and things like that.
What does that mean?
So okay, this is gonna sound kind of crazy.
Yeah,
but
go
anyway,
for it.
so when there's a school of thought called Discordianism, and Robert Anton Wilson is like a prominent guy. So what they do is using sigils. So they create like an imagery of sorts, like a mandala, if you will, and you can.
What's a mandala?
Okay, let me try again. So as you're ejaculating, it is said that's when you're the closest to the energy of God. So it's like sending a prayer while you're ejaculating. It is more likely that you can manifest things, right? So imagine that you're like, if you're thinking about doing something specific with your business, as you're coming, you're not going to be thinking, I want to increase 25% more in my sales this month. That's not going to work.
No, it's not especially erotic either.
So what some of these guys do is, imagine, like, they create doodles that they mean something. So that's like the mandala, like, the geometrical shapes that are in a certain position with some letters. And so you can focus on your sigil as you're coming to get you closer to that manifesting goal. That's like one of the craziest things that I've done, and yeah, it kind of works.
Nice.
But
have you manifested anything in particular from it?
This was like, I'm thinking like 10 years ago when I was getting into that specific thing. So, probably yes, but I don't remember. It was not something that, like, that was not where I was wanted to focus, if you will.
What was your focus?
I am also a certified yoga instructor, and I've been into shamanism for quite a while. So I learned that even if I have an intention, for instance, ayahuasca is going to kick my ass anyway, and it's going to show me whatever I need to work on instead of, the petty thing that my human brain wants. So I learned from that my true goals and values are truth and love, whatever comes from that. So if there is something that's happening, I don't reject it, and I walk towards it with the intention of finding truth and love in whatever that is. So instead of trying to manipulate outside reality, I go into it with the vibe of truth and love. And like in yoga, there's a branch called Raja Yoga where they teach the students how to really like manipulate reality, if you will. But the benefit of that is not to actually manipulate reality, but to show you that nothing that changes is real.
Right.
You know, that's the egoic mind wanting to change things. And when you're like fucking with reality, you can only twist it so much before it snaps back and hurts you.
Yeah, and trying to control everything too it's a tense process. Like you're never comfortable when you're in that headspace.
Yeah, exactly. So that is going to either hurt you or somebody that you love, and everything has a price. So you're gonna pay for it. Yeah, you get whatever you want now, but then the bill waits for you. So instead of like wanting to use my sexual energy, spiritual energy to get certain outcomes, I just use it to connect deeper with myself, with my lover. And there's been times where like I afterwards at the end, like I just lay down for like a whole hour and like I am projecting and downloading and getting all sorts of things, which are amazing for my work, as a speaker or a consultant, because I can understand deeper things in the universe or maybe relationships, things like that. So, that like for the benefit of everybody, that's kind of more of what I enjoy doing all of that.
This is after a tantric session?
Yes, sir.
Wow. And you said that during one session you gave her 50 O's?
Oh my gosh, that's like that's pretty regular. And
Nice.
Actually, the last time she came to my house, which was the night before last, I was telling her, because like I was really curious. I could like most times I'm in the moment, but the little scientist measuring in my mind is like I want to know how many. So it was 17 orgasms before I even went in.
Whoa. Before you penetrated?
Yes.
Is that through touch or just through connection?
Yeah, it was through touch, various ways. I mean, just like rubbing kind of like with one another and kissing and maybe some hand play. But yeah, like just 17 before I even went in. That was kind of crazy.
Wow.
So how do you use Tantra in your like everyday life?
That's a good question. Thank you for asking that. So, the primary thing is like, it just makes me happy. Like I am happy. I see that like life has so many challenges, I have 2 adolescent kids. My mom's aging and like, her mind's slipping, like business is hard and, all of these things happening around me, but it keeps me with that reject nothing, and then I'm able to browse through life with the focus of, we're going to make this happen, kind of like Michael Jordan, we're going to win at any cost situation.
Yeah.
So it really helps me to focus in that way.
Are you teaching your kids about it?
Well, my son is 14, my daughter is 17. I haven't taught him about it yet, but I have told him.
Right.
Actually, I mean, they're too little to know, like, well, probably the 17, not anymore, but they're too little to.
They need to find it on their own. You want them to come to it when they're
exactly.
mature and ready and stuff.
100%. Yes. And, they do know this lovely person that I connect with. And, I tell them, hey, I'm going to go see her. I'll be back. So they know when all of these things happen, right? Well, not all of them, of course, but they know when I go, and they know when she comes. And
they know when you come home smiling that you had a good time.
Well, most times I get back to the house at like 4 a.m., so they're asleep. But
that's good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I going back to your sort of mentality about life. So, you're saying that through your teachings, you've basically come to learn how to accept life as it comes at you. But are you saying that you have sort of this unwavering focus towards achieving your goals? Is that basically what you were getting at?
It's Partially that, like, I mean, I am profoundly ADHD. I'm a little bit dyslexic, so I mean, life as it is kind of challenging, right?
Yeah.
But this helps me create and maintain focus. It just keeps me like joyful, right? But also, as we are connecting and I'm having all these downloads, like I'm able to understand why some things are important in society. Like I can relate that act that we're doing that specific moment to something else. And like all of these connections just started to happen in my mind and heart, and then should just make sense. And then I'm able to share them, if I'm teaching a class. Like I don't say, hey, I learned this during a tantric session. Like, they just get whatever teachings came through.
So like, are the tantric books, they're not all about sex? They have like a bunch of chapters and parts about just other things in life?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. So
yeah, and there are some that like even talk like it's like a novel, if you will. Some of them are novels. Some of them like will tell you other things. And
there was was it a guy or a gal who kicked it off?
Well, this is something that like it's a millenary thing. Like the union between Shiva and Shakti, and they create rituals with like milk and honey, and they have actual objects that look like yoni, which is the pussy, or a lingam, which is the dick, and they recreate things, and then they teach around it. So this is like, I cannot do it justice in like a 20, 30, even an hour.
And you see milk and honey in pornography. Are those
really?
Yeah. What is it about those two things that make them connected to sex?
Wait, you mean you see the actual food?
Yeah, like milk, like they'll pour milk on girls' butts and boobs and
Where's
porn.
the honey?
The honey goes on I don't see honey as much, but I feel like it could be in there too.
Oh.
Well, I am going to fail you on that one because I haven't seen like a whole lot of that. But yeah, I mean, just playing with food is fun.
Me neither.
Like food play is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I've been yearning to be a whipped cream guy. I've never taken the plunge, but I bought it before, but never opened the can.
Why not?
I don't know. Sometimes I'm not scared. I just sometimes I'm like, it seems like an ordeal.
Yeah,
to walk to the fridge.
Sometimes you get horny and you're like, do I really want to do all those bells and whistles? Like, it was fun to think about.
It's fun to think about.
I kind of just want to get there.
But you know what? Talking to you, I'm gonna actually take the time to like pause and break out the Ready Whip.
Yeah, it's scary too. Sometimes you're like, I'm gonna feel goofy if I try these things.
Yeah.
While I have sex, and feeling goofy while you have sex, they feel antithetical, but it probably is good, because it lightens the whole mood.
I'm so happy you took it in this direction. Thank you. I would say that this is where you are like fucking naked with somebody, but you're afraid of being naked in your soul, like that is like a little bit weird to me. And like, I mean, I used to be like that too, and that's another reason why I'm kind of persnickety to whom I connect with. But there's times where you're gonna be like, you're gonna hear queefs and you're gonna hear noises, and like she's gonna jump and it's gonna hurt your dick, and there's gonna be like errors, there's gonna be pain, and how your partner reacts to that will speak volumes about her and how she sees you.
Totally. Yeah, you want to just be like rock and roll about everything. Like, yeah, nice, good, more. Give me all the colors of your rainbow.
Exactly. And there's something so beautiful about like, the halftime too, like between session 1 and 2 or 3 or 4, whatever it may be. And you get some water and you connect, and it's not like purely sexual, but it's like, you're opening, like get some crackers, some cheese, some whatever you need to drink. We'll be back. We'll hug, those are the moments where like, it's not just about always like, penetrating all the time. Like there's some really awesome times that happen even beyond that,
Totally.
Did we say at the same time?
That was awesome. Hey, we're synced up.
Synchronicity. What advice would you have for them if they're having issues with, well, maybe let's start off with like watching too much pornography and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think we all go through our stages, I did that too. So I guess the first thing that one of my mentors taught me was, first of all, be gentle with yourself, because if you're going to be punishing yourself for doing something stupid, then that's like a double whammy, like
you're hurting yourself twice.
So, the very first thing is like, okay, maybe this is something that I'm doing, but I know inside of me that is not the best thing I can do. So, deploy empathy towards yourself and be like, okay, we're doing this right now, but you can always say no the next time, And like, it doesn't matter if you did it like 100 times this year already, the next time you can say no, and things change. You have agency, Yeah. And it's so important too, because, like your dick will work in different ways if you're always just using porn. When you get in front of a girl, it's not going to work the same way, So it's supremely important to take breaks and maybe making them longer and longer. And because I think that also pornography prevents you from a deep connection with the other person, because, exactly like we were talking about, like we think that it's just a performance all the time,
Yeah.
And there's something beautiful about fucking up during the performance. Like, I'm going to be like super transparent, like there's been times where my dick won't get hard.
Sure, man.
And like in front of a 10 that you just met at the bar, that would be a debacle,
I've experienced that.
You just, like, you get a little too much powder, nose beers or whatever, shit don't work. Well, then what, right? So
you make your eggs and scratch your back.
Yes. So, when you actually shift your focus from like complete performance all the time to, we're going to connect and be intimate. And that probably means that I can give you a back rub, or I can use my fingers and my tongue and things like that. And this is something that women will actually appreciate, that you don't just want to be there all the time, like you have to start slow. You have to like love all of her, not just one piece or part, So when you slow down and you're actually able to see her as a person and not just a fleshlight, your world changes.
Amen, brother. All right. Well, Luis, that was really illuminating, man. Thanks for coming on, and we'll call you another time. Appreciate you.
Anytime. I'm happy to connect with you guys.
Great chatting with you.
Talk soon.
Bye.
Nice guy.
He's awesome.
Next time, he's an anarchist too. We'll talk to him about that next time.
Dude, yeah. That's interesting. I like what he's talking about. You call it halftime. Take a tea.
Yeah, take a break.
Have some water.
Laugh about something.
I've been eating marshmallows a lot lately. Have some marshmallows.
That's sexy.
Dude, I think marshmallows are a sexy food.
Yeah, especially the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, yeah, the big, I've been eating the smaller ones, but maybe I'll start eating the bigger ones.
You get those jumbo ones, dude.
Yeah.
Stick one in your mouth, one in her mouth, pull it apart.
Whoa.
Stick it between her toes.
Aaron, how do you feel about all that stuff?
So you checking your phone a lot? What's up, dog?
I'm hustling. I'm doing business. I don't know. I feel like it's first of all, I feel like you should have sex once a month is insane.
Ejaculate once a month.
Oh, still. That's we're already a country on the edge. So we need to.
Brother, I hear you. If I don't nut for a couple of days, I'm not fun to be around.
Exactly.
But I think he's talking about mastering that energy.
Sure, and of course that would be easy, great to do if it were easy.
But you're worried about civil war.
I'm worried about civil war. I'm worried about domestic violence. I'm worried about a lot of things that come from.
Get those numbers up.
Yeah.
I remember I went a month without busting a load, and then this is probably like 5 years ago. The first girl I hooked up with, upon just like barely insertion, I came everywhere.
Very flattering to her.
It was flattering to her, and you know what? I was kind of psyched. I was like, that was awesome.
Yeah, it feels
It
good.
just exploded.
Nice. Happens to everyone.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was
But also,
cool.
like, as someone who's gone through fertility issues, like, that's also not, holding it in for a month is also not the way to make it work.
Right.
To get someone pregnant or whatever, if that's what you're trying to do.
You need to be.
It's actually
Get
better
that
to do
factory
it.
line moving.
Yeah, it's better to do it every other day or
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's what Western medicine wants you to think, Aaron. But actually, you got so many swimmers in that one night. I don't know.
No, you want to expel as much as you can, as regularly as you can, so you get rid of
old
kind of
dead
done,
jizz.
old dead jizz. Yeah,
You get the new.
because what you're jizzing
new
now
fighters
is
in
what
there.
you made 3 months ago. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
It takes that long to make jizz? Like
for it
semen?
to get to the front of the line, basically. Yeah.
Really? You
Yeah.
have that much in you?
Yeah.
Whoa. What if you beat off a lot, then and you're coming a lot? Can you later all your reserves?
No, because you're always. That's the one thing about men is we're always producing. So
Oh.
we don't have a finite. Like women only have a finite amount of eggs in them from birth.
Yeah.
They can get that checked too. They can see how many eggs they have left and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, totally.
It's interesting.
But yeah, guys can just generate forever.
Well, I guess what I was thinking is like at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess
Like empty
so,
the
yeah.
tank.
I don't know that you wouldn't have any semen. I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
That's so
I
interesting.
bet you could be out of sperm, but still have ejaculate.
Interesting. That's the thing. You know what? When I first learned about the nofap thing, I was totally taken by it because the YouTube videos are like, this is what Jim Carrey did. This is what Mike Tyson did. This is what Tesla did. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. I'm just going to stop jacking off. I'm going to store up this jizz. And then...
Mike Tyson, convicted rapist. I just want to put that out there.
Right, yeah. Noted.
Yeah. So, I mean...
But I did feel more motivated. But one thing was... and I think what he's talking about is different teaching is that once I started doing that, once I learned about that, now whenever I jack off and ejaculate, I feel a sense of shame. Whereas before I would be like psyched, but now I feel like, oh, I have less energy. Oh, I have less.
Right. It becomes
I'm
like
less
a
mentally
self-fulfilling
sharp.
becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. Like my mental sharpness has been dulled.
Yeah.
That's how, I mean, I think it's all mental, but that's what I feel now after learning that stuff.
Well, it's like Bull Durham. Like he thinks he's playing better because he's not having sex with his girlfriend.
Right.
And she gets mad at Kevin Costner and she's like, why'd you tell him not to have sex with me? And he's like, well, because if he thinks that he's playing better because he's not having sex with you, then he is. And these streaks are so rare and they come around only so often that he has to honor that. And you should know that. Like that with life, it's so hard to feel like you're on a roll. So if you feel like you're on a roll because you're not fapping, well, go that direction, go with God. And I don't know how much choice we have in like what we believe too. Like you've always been kind of had like a monk-like approach to your body and stuff like that. So it makes sense to me that, but hey, if you want to jack off a lot, I think you'd be great that way too.
That's the thing. Well, that's the thing. It's almost like a thing that's plaguing my mind more.
Right.
Where now that I have that piece of information, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But now that it's entered my dome, it's like I can't get it out. Does that make sense?
No, totally. I mean, it happened to me too. Once I went to sex addicts and told myself I had a problem with sex, it was hard for me to treat even normal sexual like acting out as normal because I was like, but you got a problem and now you're in that problem and that problem's devouring you right now. And I was like, you also just jacked off and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to measure how hard to be on yourself. That's a tough thing to figure out.
He made a good point though that you just you don't punish yourself. You just sort of, and so yeah, I mean, jizz, energy, all that stuff. It's a mystery to me, but dude, Jim Carrey. Do you think Jim Carrey, if he were jacking off, would have come up with Ace Ventura? Like doing the character that way?
Was he not jacking off when he came up with Ace Ventura?
According to this guy Nathan on YouTube.
What about Thanksgiving, guys?
It's good, dude. I was in Huntington. Had some turkey. No, dude, I had honey glazed ham, bro.
Nice.
You know what?
Jealous.
You know what? I was at the Hilton in Huntington Beach and I had surf and turf because we went to the buffet. That's Warren Buffet, and I got crab legs. I got a shit ton of crab legs, and then I got lox bagel, and then I went back to the buffet and I got honey glazed ham. No, I got prime rib too. Honey glazed ham, prime rib, some stuffing, and some scalloped potatoes, and then I got mousse.
Nice,
Dude.
So you went off menu a little bit, but it sounds like it was more fulfilling.
You know, I said yes to my circumstances.
Amen.
What'd you
Roll with it.
How was yours?
Dude, it was great. Me and the GF, we went down and hung out with my mom and her awesome hubby Greg, and we had a banging time.
Was Chris there?
No, it's just us four.
Nice.
And Greg's daughter and her girlfriend were there the night before. They're a great hang, and it was good seeing them. And then I cooked for the first time a little bit. Not much, but I actually tried to help.
What'd you cook?
I helped with the sweet potatoes, and I helped with another food dish that I can't remember, but it was fucking fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice to be a part of that.
Yeah.
The food was great. They crushed it. It was so delicious. And then, I got really hammered.
Oh, nice.
I think I ripped like 10 shots of tequila. I was properly drunk by 2:00. like hammered. I was spicy
PM?
too. Yeah, PM. We started early, and I was kind of I was barbed. I was picking fights and being a lot. And my mom told a wild ass story. She's fucking hilarious. She told this story. She was like bragging about me, which I really appreciate. And she was like, John Thomas was always different, always very special. Like, let me tell you, one time when he was 2 years old, he walked into my room and I was naked changing. And John Thomas said, Mom, your boobs are out. And I said, John Thomas, you have to get used to things like this, because when you go to Europe, women often have their boobs out. Insane for like so many reasons. Like, first of all, I grew up in California.
Yeah.
I don't know why she was prioritizing European values so much. I also don't think I've been to Europe since.
Yeah.
I didn't see that many jugs.
It's not
And
often.
then
I did.
and then my mom says, I followed that up with, yeah, but are all the women in Europe as sexy as you?
You said that?
That's what she says, I said.
That's amazing.
But which, I do like to be a smooth talker. I could see myself saying that, but it's hard for me to think that any 2-year-old knows the word sexy.
Dude, if anyone would say it was you.
It's true.
She kept going. She's like, and then John Thomas took off his smoking jacket and he poured himself a glass of cognac.
Is this all because is this all after your mom showed you Fatal Attraction as your first movie?
I was grilling her about that, about how she showed me a lot of sex movies when I was 7 years old, like Internal Affairs and stuff like that. And how she was always attracted to the dark psycho who boned a lot. And she was like, we didn't just watch those movies. Oh, it was so terrible. I'm like, well, no, it wasn't terrible. It was fun.
I spent it with my family in San Diego. Brought the kid and the dog down, and the wife, obviously. But it was a lot of. Well, I made elote, Mexican street corn.
Nice. That's so delicious.
as a side dish for Thanksgiving, and everyone loved it, which was good, and also like, because I was really putting myself out there. I felt like, because I've never brought a side dish before that I didn't like buy or whatever. So that was cool. But then there was a lot of like just little micro dramas going on around the family.
Holidays.
Yeah.
The holidays, man.
It's not even the holidays. It's just like a lot of stuff that's kind of built up and is there. And
I guess it's the first time everyone's together, so it's a chance for it to come out.
Because I don't go down to San Diego very much anymore. I used to go down monthly, and now I'm down to like 3 times a year. So I just you kind of walk into it and you're like, oh shit, things have been going. So that was interesting and a little rough at times.
Stressful.
Yeah.
I felt that as well.
Yeah. It's odd. And it's just like a lot of stuff that, I don't know. My family is very like messy. They're never going to hear this, so fuck it. They're very messy, and their house is just a train wreck. And it's like, and it's certainly they have an 8-year-old there, my niece, but like, and dogs, but we were never that messy growing up. So it's just like, and then I'm not messy now, and neither is my wife. So like, and we have a 2-year-old, so like, and a dog, and no, it's just weird to walk into that and be like, we would never live like this. How do they live like this? So
I hear you.
Yeah. My sister might also be an alcoholic. Whatever. And my brother-in-law's good for nothing. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. That's a lot going on,
dude. Hey, you got to get it out, brother. I'm feeling it too. It's
it's just a lot of stuff like that. And I just repeat constantly. I'm like, this is why I don't come down here anymore. Like to my wife, not to.
I got my girlfriend a pasta maker for her birthday, so we were making pasta 2 nights ago. It's cool, dude. Here's how much of a noob I am at cooking. So, like, we were trying to figure it out. It's the pasta maker Bert used, and we just didn't get the
ratios.
The ratios correct.
Yeah.
And we're like, it was too liquidy, and it's flour and water and egg.
Yeah.
Which is so funny when you're like, when you look at pasta, you're like, how do they do this? It's just flour and water and egg. Which is so crazy to me.
Well, they're different shapes.
Dude, yeah. I'm like, how do they make this shit? And then like I was like, is it the wrong flour? She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's like, flour's flour. I'm like,
there are different kinds. But
dude, there's what, like, is there 2?
I think there's way more than that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So maybe I was right. Maybe that was the right question to ask. I'm going to report that back home.
Sure.
Isn't that the best? Where you like feel like you're like, we're wrong in a conversation, and you carry that with you, and then someone's like, no, you were actually right. And you're like, thank you.
And we're like, there are hundreds of types of flour.
By the way.
Just right when I walk in.
Yeah, it's tough to know when to bring it up.
Yeah.
I always just kick down the door. I'm like, hey, you were wrong about that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably still should have been able to make pasta out of whatever it was, but I think there are different kinds.
Shot.
No,
No,
dude,
you can't.
Don't.
Shot.
Yeah.
Aaron, he had the wrong flour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm already on the right.
More.
Although we did make pasta, so it
Was it good?
it was delicious. Yeah.
Bro, let's go.
Yeah.
That's nice. Dude, me and the lady, we decorated a tree.
Oh, that's sick.
And at first I was sitting there and I was like, can't get into this. I don't like doing shit like this.
Why?
I just don't. I'm just not into like
it can be stressful.
home stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know where I fit in. Like she has such a clear idea of what she wants to do that I'm like, I'd be like the sous chef and I just kind of be in the way, like blocking her along the kitchen line. And I'm like, it's better if I just pull myself out. But I was like, no, that's not my energy, dude. I got to jump in. So then I just like flipped the switch and I was like, let's fucking decorate the fuck out of this thing. And I was like, it's not balanced. We need a big one here, a little one here. And then like we were kind of like trying to negotiate how much stuff to put on it all together. Cause I'm kind of a minimalist in my aesthetic, as you can tell from my apartment. And then, but I got really into it. And then I was like, yeah, this is fun. I just had to like kind of find the intensity in it. And once I found that, I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, it's finding the holiday spirit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was jolly.
Yeah. I love being jolly.
I know, dude, that was great. When I listened back to the pod from last week when you were just talking about the holiday spirit, it was like cute as fuck, man.
I fucking love it, dude.
I've been trying to lean into that more. Just like, I think at my core, I'm just a cute person, but I've just been taught that you got to be barbed, but you don't. You can just be cute all the time.
Society tries to put that in you.
Yeah, they're like, hey, if you're cute all the time, you're going to get fucked over. I'm like, I don't think that's true.
That's the thing. I remember as a kid, in high school, people are like, you got to stand up for yourself more. And I've always had that in the back of my mind of like being too nice and stuff. But then at the same time, I'm like kind of like, well, I've kind of gotten everything I wanted. Mm-hmm. So fuck you.
Yeah, and I think you get more of what you fuck you, and you get more of what you truly want. Who were we saying fuck you to? I don't want to be too willy nilly with it.
Adolescent males. From 2007.
Dude, this is gonna be part of my beef of the week. I got a big beef with dudes.
Yeah.
I'm beefing with dudes right now. I think it's about honoring your true self. Like if at your core, like I'm just kind of a mush. You know what I mean? I'm a fucking softie. And I think your life's going to work out better for you if you're true to who you are.
Yeah, totally.
And then, if there's a fucking situation where you got to get nasty, maybe you don't.
Yeah. I think you play it by ear. But yeah, I think you stay true to who you are. But I think that's also like you got to be aware of, you know, perhaps some kind of thinking in your mind, subconscious thinking, like defense mechanisms, which is like people pleasing, which is I've had that. I've been able to be more aware of that, of like having impulses of like wanting to do this thing, and then but taking a step back and thinking, is this worth doing? Is this worth saying? Or am I just trying to please this person because I feel bad? You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah, you gotta, if you're compromising yourself.
Yeah.
And it's tough because some people can take on those compromises and remain happy.
Yeah.
But if it's hurting you, you gotta be willing to push back and say.
Yeah.
I also think like people, because you bounce back, they'll probably bounce back too. Like me or whoever you need to say the fucking thing to.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally. I think I just I don't know, I just feel bad.
That's nice.
I do.
Yeah, like you they booked us an opener in Chicago, but there was already 4 of us, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm going to call the club and fire this guy.
I stand by that.
And you were like, that's mean.
You know, I stand by that because it was a big opportunity for that guy. And if we were in his position, that spot would have meant a lot.
I hear you, but to me, it was like, I had to look out for our crew first. Like Joe was there. Mike's not coming on these other dates. I was like, it's going to eat up into their time. And
yeah, I mean, he did, 5 minutes?
Yeah, well, he was going to do 10.
Yeah, I can't do 10.
I beat him down to 5.
Yeah.
And he was a great guy and he was hilarious. The club
Yeah.
wouldn't cut him, which I respected the club for standing their ground. But in my mind, I was like, and we had given them we'd emailed them and told them don't book an opener.
Yeah.
And it was their fuck up. So to me, I was like, I feel bad for the guy, but like y'all didn't do your jobs right. And they were a great club and I had a blast there and it worked out beautifully. But I don't know. I was kind of like, I don't know. I was like, we got to do our thing.
Yeah.
Did he fit the vibe at least?
He was great. He was really funny.
That's good.
He had great jokes.
He's a good comic.
Yeah, he's a really good joke. What's his name? I should shout him out. We'll put up in a print right here. You guys should follow him. He's really, really funny. And a good hang. All right, should we answer some cues?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll get my laptop.
Guys, I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know once again that we are on tour still. We're in Denver this weekend. We got 5 shows. Tickets are running out, so get your tickets now at chadandjt.com. We also have Salt Lake City on Sunday and Atlanta next week. So if you're in those areas, chadandjt.com. We're also brought to you by the legends at True Classic. Guys, this is my favorite form-fitting t-shirt. I'm a huge stickler about t-shirts, and when True Classic came in and shipped us some of them, I put them on, and I was like, this is my go-to t-shirt for life. And if you want classic, solid t-shirts that make you look good and feel good, look no further than True Classic. I'm a huge supporter of this sponsor. These guys are absolute legends, and they deserve to get your biz because we want you looking good and feeling good, and we want to show them our support as well. What up? So the holidays are here. Maximize your guys' life, ladies, and it's hoped over 200 million men look great in their tees. Now you can say big while you do so. Get 25% off True Classic with my exclusive link, trueclassic.com/go deep. The discount doesn't stop there. Okay, you'll save even more during their site-wide sale. Support our show and check them out at trueclassic.com/go deep. That's trueclassic.com/go deep. Santa won't be the only one slaying, thanks to True Classic. All right. We're also brought to you by the legends at Vincero, a new sponsor. I'm really psyched on these guys. They have super sick watches. I got a really cool gold one coming in. I got these really cool sunglasses. And if you're looking to level up your fashion game to where you look sophisticated, and it's like you can walk into the holiday party and people are like, holy tomatoes, what happened to this guy? He looks amazing. That's where Vincero comes in. They're going to give you the primo watches, the primo shades. They're handcrafted and they can fit your budge too. That's the best thing about them is like they fit your budge. They're super sick. What else? They have a 5-year guarantee and 365-day free return policy that has you covered. This is a great gift also, ladies and men, for people. Get some Vincero watches. People will love it. Don't wait or it'll be too late. Get 20% off plus free shipping site-wide with our exclusive link, vincerocollective.com/go deep. Support our show and check them out at vincerocollective.com/go deep. Look good, feel good, and save big this holiday season with Vincero. We're also brought to you by the Legends of Athletic Greens. Guys, this is the best supplement out there. It's a product I literally use every day. I started taking Athletic Greens because I want to level up my nutrition. I want to get it in one go in an affordable package. And that's where Athletic Greens comes in. They give you tons of nutrients. It's diet friendly, so vegan, paleo, all that kind of stuff. GMO free. You get vitamin D with your purchase as well. You get all the nutrition that you need in one go. That's where Athletic Greens comes in, and these guys are legends. They will, keep your dink from right angling. I don't know if I should have a legal disclaimer there, but from personal experience, I can tell you that's true. And they're going to give you better sleep quality and recovery. It's just the best thing. So I highly recommend them. It's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/go deep. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/go deep to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Finally, we are brought to you by the Legends at Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trins peeved, for looking after our hogs, for making sure their dinks are looking fresh and clean, because you got pubes. And this is a great gift as well. You get the Performance Package 4.0. All of your hygiene needs are taken care of in one go. I'm talking pubes, hair, chest, balls, taint. You can get body wash, shampoo, conditioner, the Lawnmower 4.0, beauty, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, that's Cruise. Let me show this. Oops. I have nose hairs now. And I use that to get them out of there. It's a lifesaver, dudes. I want you to feel the same way. So, you can get your significant other or whoever, your dad, a candy cane, or you can get them the Performance Package 4.0 and make sure that their pubes are in check. And not only that, when you get them this gift, it's also a fun laugh, because you'd be like, hey, I'm looking after your pubes, and I know you're going to trim them after you unwrap this. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code GODEEP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use code GODEEP. Manscaped, get your jingle balls ready for the holidays. All right, let's get back to the show.
All right. This is from Jimmy Smoothcock. Hey, I got a question. Daddy gets horny in Ubers, and drivers all up in my business about it. I'm a stud. I'm a pussy-eating champion. People will tell stories of my sexual prowess for centuries to come. I'm the horn dog champion. I'm not sorry if that offends you. Anyways, sometimes I like to suck on a titty, take my cock out, lick some toes, and have a little fun in the Uber. Ladies love it. It's good fun. Drivers always bitch at me for it. It's not cool. It's a shame that the Uber Corporation is against women's pleasure. I don't let anything stop me because I'm the horn dog champion. I kept on doing my thing, and I got banned from the app. I tried making another account with a burner, and that got banned too. I'm not just going to take an Uber with a hot chick and leave her unsatisfied. I'm a man of duty and obligation. I'll make these ladies wet during our Uber ride. So here's the question. I'm banned from Uber. How much am I supposed to get around? I don't like driving. I like to be the passenger so I can focus on fornication. How do I get back on Uber? I try to get all of the women I've pleasured in the Ubers to ride it on my behalf, but that didn't seem to help at all. I need a way to get back on Uber.
Well, Smoothcock, dude, I really appreciate your passion. I mean that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It sounds like you got it kind of figured out. I would just get on Lyft and see how it goes from there.
Yeah, I think. I think if you do this thing, then if he keeps doing it, he's gonna get banned from Lyft probably too.
Probably.
Although, he should have maybe a disclaimer in his thing of like, "Hey, I like to fuck during rides." But so I think maybe one way around that is to hire one of your boys to drive you around, like a chauffeur. My boy Mason did that in college when I was hammered and I'd go on dates. He'd drive me in his Audi Dude, he had air freshener, good vibes. He'd usually smoke a blunt, and he would play Benny Benassi, a really good house DJ. And so I didn't do any fingering or, cock pulling out or titty sucking. But if you found someone who's comfortable with that, I'm sure you could do that.
Totally. I think that's right too. Because if you're going to be someone who lives your own way, you're doing things the way you want, and those things can be a bit extreme to other people, you can't count on other people to be okay with that. You need to come up with a system of your own devising that works, that allows you to be that person, but still gets you from point A to point B. So I think Chad's absolutely right. You got to get a homie who drives you around. You kick him a few shekels, and you let him know well before you get into it that you're going to be boning in the back. Because, I respect that you bone in the back of Ubers, but you got to respect the driver who doesn't want you to bone in the back. Mm-hmm. And so some kind of way to let people know, this is how I do it. If you're not down, you don't have to drive me. But if you do want to drive me, I'll be putting on a show.
Consent is important, not just your partner, but also your driver.
Mm-hmm. You can also get a really aggressive guy who, as soon as he sees what's going on, he's going to right angle your cock.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also a bad situation too, because then you have to pee around corners.
Dude, that's true too, dude. Like if you're boning in the back of cars that are moving, like you're not wearing your seatbelt.
Yep. It's true.
And also if you have a right angled dick, it's hard to penetrate fully. You're going to have to penetrate with the tip that's right angled. And you're going to have to go like this. That's pretty tough in my opinion, and you won't be able to pleasure as much. So I think always be cognizant of, flat surfaces or aggro dudes who would grab it and right angle it.
Well, they could just get into an accident.
You can do it.
You could get right angled that way.
Yeah.
And then if that does happen, call Luis,
T-boned,
who knows about tantric sex, and he'll help you figure out how to use your newly shaped dick in a way that is, good for one massive ejaculate a month.
Yeah. And also, imagine being at urinals with a right angle dick. It's like you have to look at the guy next to you.
It's a good way to meet people. Next one. Anonymous, please. Sultans of Stoke. Is it your responsibility to delete the nudes of a partner after you break up? I regretted deleting them from a previous partner post-breakup, so I kept them after my most recent. I feel a little guilty having them. Should I? Yeah, if you feel guilty, delete them.
I think you should delete them, yeah.
Yeah, delete them.
I don't think you should delete them if they were given to you rightfully, or you took them, with consent.
Yeah.
Just lock them away in a secure folder so that they don't get out to the world.
Yeah, one caveat, I think if he's in a new relationship, he should delete them.
I also think just lock those away.
Really?
Yeah.
They're
yours.
I like you being kind of wild on it. I had one partner, this is so obvious. She told me after we broke up, she's like, delete all those photos. And I was like, all right, copy.
If it's going to be a thing, then yeah, sure. But
yeah,
I mean, you're not giving your phone to anybody for the most part.
Yeah.
But you never know when that's going to come in handy.
Right.
I
hear what you're saying. I think, yeah. A lot of my boys have photos of me doing a mangina.
Yeah.
I said, no, frame that.
Yeah.
Frame that.
They have new friends. They don't have to delete that photo.
It's hard for me to answer questions now because all I can think about is a right angle dick.
Looking at the guy.
I hear you.
Just looking at this dude's ear while he's peeing, while you're peeing.
Sir, are you okay? Yeah, it's right angled, so I have to pee this way.
You got T-bone in an Uber.
Dude, can you imagine seeing that? You just look down and go, fuck, dude. That's perfect right angle, bro.
Hey, brothers and stees. After a shitty v-ball practice for our college club team where our libero defensive specialist was playing uncharacteristically awful, I was rightfully pissed. He had us talk after practice, but it was just him saying that he feels not enough guys were picking him up. After that, I angrily threw my shoe at the wall because of how bad practice was and how I felt I got nothing out of the post-practice talk. We have no coach to get on us, which is cool, especially with this being club. but I think some of my teammates are pussies who can't handle some tough love or being chewed out like by a football or basketball coach. A couple of guys had said not to do that to them, but I think that makes us incredibly soft. I know it's just club, but we compete for national championships each year, and it seems we're getting worse. After practice, he texted me because I was visibly upset, asking to meet and talk and hash things out. How do I explain that we need to stop being pussies and be able to be criticized or chewed out by each other so that we're motivated to win and have more energy playing together? Thank you and much love. Hope to catch you guys at a show soon.
I think first I'd take if you're in a club team, I'd take stock of like how serious these other guys are taking it. If you're chewing out, if you want to play on a club team and you're having fun, and then one of your teammates is chewing you out for sucking, I think I'd be, if I got into the league for those intent, I'd be like, dude, I'm just trying to have fun. Maybe we should be on different leagues or something. Like, yeah. I don't know. I think but if you guys are competitive and you're trying to win, then I think that's valid. But yeah.
Yeah, I had my 4th grade baseball coach. He was awesome, Coach Garcia. He asked us before the season. He was like, what are your guys' goals? And we were all like, we want to win the championship. And he's like, okay, because there's 2 options. Like, if you want to win, then I have to play the best guys. Not everybody's going to play. And I'm going to have to tell you guys when you suck. If you just want to have a good time, we can do that. And we were all like, we want to win. And then he was like, all right, well, then this is what you're signing up for. And, it was a smart way to like get us to buy into what was coming in a way where our eyes were open and we couldn't go back and be like, hey, why are you being a dick? It was like, well, that's what you wanted. So yeah, I think you got to talk to your teammates about what their aspirations are for the team. You think he's being too intense? Yeah.
As a guy who's played rec league sports for 20 years, yeah, I think he's being a little intense.
Do you have some? I was on a volleyball team in rec league volleyball, and some of the people on the team told me I was being too intense. But they liked it when I first joined the team because I helped us get better.
Yeah.
But then by the end of it, they're like, I want to play in a lower division where it's less competitive. And I was like, I'm just not wired that way.
Yeah. I think it's good. I think the discussion with the team ahead of time is really good. It's really positive and really helpful. Like, so everyone's eyes are open to what is coming. But I think, and this guy's complaining about a practice not going well. Like, They didn't lose a game. They just had a practice that felt shitty. Throwing your shoe, I mean,
that's pretty dramatic.
I've thrown things. I kicked a Gatorade bottle for a field goal. I've done some terrible things that I feel bad about in frustration with myself, not with my team. But I'm trying to get better and not do that. So
this guy might be too temperamental to be the motivating voice too. Like, I feel like Maurice's a good motivating voice because he'll call people out, but he's very, it feels like common sense when he says it to a degree.
Well, you also, if you're going to complain, if you're going to be that loud a voice and complain, you got to be a fucking badass.
You got to ball out.
You have to be the best fucking player on this team.
That happens a lot where the guy who's the loudest sucks and you're like, dude. Like,
or is just media, it's just middle or whatever, or sucks. But like, you have to be.
Yeah, you better be playing fucking.
You have to be able to lead by example, and then also do some firing up if you have to.
Yeah, it's like Michael Jordan would have been a psychopath out of the league if he wasn't Michael Jordan.
Yeah, if he wasn't the best fucking player.
Yeah, no one could be like, but Michael, you're being too hard on us. It was like, well, he's the best. So kind of whatever he says goes. Yeah. And then they said about him, like,
and those guys were also being paid to play.
It's a little different than club. A little different. Yeah. Steve Kerr said, you played for Michael Jordan, you played with Tim Duncan when describing the difference in their leadership approaches.
Yeah. And I always tell my teammates, whether they ask for it or not, I always just say, hey, we all have dads already. So I'm not going to yell. We all had dads who yelled at us already. We're grown men. We don't need that shit.
I've had that in Call of Duty. I had a friend who was too hard on me in Call of Duty. Yeah. And I was like, bro, I'm doing this like after I do other stuff that's like a little bit more important to me. I don't need to be getting my fucking ass chewed out because like I ditched ladder. We'd be playing like a 40-minute game. He'd be like, JT, you watch The Ladder. I was like, I'm going to watch The Ladder for 40 minutes in a video game? It's more boring than like real work.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting us killed because I stopped watching The Ladder. He was pissed. And I was like, bro, I don't fucking work for you, dog. Yeah, club, you're in college. How serious do club teams get? Were you on one?
No, fuck no.
No, I've never done one. They seem like they can get intense, but like it was a practice. Like I hate to quote Allen Iverson here, but we're talking about practice,
Talking
man.
about practice, not this game that I give my life for.
Yeah,
We're talking about practice.
Dude, that's why I was never team. Like I was on water polo. I hated it because I didn't give a fuck about winning the championship. I don't know why. I just hated the team more. And I would be more psyched when the other team would score because our goalie was such a fucking annoying little douche.
Right.
He's like, come on. I'd be like, I don't know. I always like solo pursuits more. I think that's my thing. But being on, whenever I was on, I don't know. I've been on instances where I was on a team I was psyched for it, but I don't know. I don't like people yelling at me.
and volleyball specifically, like you can get just if the libro's not having a good game, just get in front of him.
Yeah,
You start making the passes. Like you don't have to let that guy touch the ball. There's no rule he's got to touch it.
that's why I like surfing a lot because it's constant competition with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Stand up competition with yourself.
Sure.
I love all that stuff where it's just you're just working out, you're just improving yourself.
Well, yeah, and everyone gets motivated different ways. Like some people do like being yelled at and they thrive off of it. But if your libero doesn't, it might feel good to you to get that out. But are you actually helping him be better? Like if he plays better with a different kind of motivation, then it probably behooves you to give him that kind of motivation if you want to be in that role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just always find it's better to be positive about the things people do right, the effort they make.
Totally.
Even when they don't make a catch, hey, great try. You hauled your ass out there. You know, guys backing up plays, even if the ball never gets to them. Hey, that was awesome. I saw it. Rather than yelling at their mistakes. I mean, I do hate it because, you know, it's like I'm not saying I could have made that play, but like, you know, I did my part as the pitcher to get it to where this guy hit the ball just a hair off of where he wanted to. And then so the ball got popped up, let's say, and you don't catch it. Yeah, I'm pissed, but like, I'm not perfect. Like I might have dropped that ball too. Who knows?
Yeah, I think too. If it's like really egregious, like I remember trying to do improv. You try to organize improv things, and people just wouldn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like pissed. I'd be like, "What the fuck are we doing this for?
Yeah.
Like, do you guys want to do improv or not? You know what I mean?" I think so. I think if that's the case, where people just aren't taking it seriously at all, so you can't even practice or like play
Right.
games or like function as a team, then I think, you know, being kind of a hard ass in that respect is warranted in some instances. But like, I think that's sort of for something like this. It seems so low stakes that seems like the
It's a really good point.
benchmark.
Like if the libero is trying in practice, like if he's focused and he's just having an off day,
Yeah.
like that's being human. Everyone has days where they're not going to be dialed.
yeah
So to yell at him when he's already probably feeling not stoked,
yeah
it's not helping much. But yeah, if the libero was like taking bong rips when he was supposed to like
Yeah, if he's
have his hands
hungover.
out, then you're like, dude, come on, man. Like
Yeah.
focus up a little bit.
Yeah.
But
And I think too, it's like I don't know. I've just been thinking a lot about mortality and just like living life and stuff. I feel like you want to, in my view, you want to try to have fun as much as possible because, like, you know, you're here for a brief amount of time. What's the point? Enjoy your life.
Totally.
And so, if you're playing club volleyball, I think the intent, you know, they're not trying to win the state championship. It's not their whole. They're not trying to win the NBA title. It's like have fun. If everyone's having fun together, that's way better than winning a bunch of games and being miserable. It's
Yeah.
club volleyball.
Yeah. Winning should be the bonus on top of just playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I certainly feel about it at this point.
all right. You guys ready for the next bit?
Where are you going to store this stupid trophy? Like
Yeah.
In your heart.
In your ass.
Either option works.
when you're dead, who's going to give a shit about this trophy?
Exactly.
Um,
It's such an interesting thing to think of. People are like, I need to get all this money, all this. And I do want to make a lot of money, but like,
Sure.
but like, it is sort of like, You can't take it with you.
Yeah, it just facilitates more fun things.
Yes.
It's not the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad, who's your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is with let me just pull it up. Morning routines, dude. F them. I'm out on morning routines.
Nice.
I think they're counterproductive. I think they add way too much stress to your life. I think unless it's something that you truly enjoy every morning and it's a ritual and it's easy to do, it's not taxing on you. I think it's cool. But for the most part, and this may just be me because I'm intense, I'd get a morning routine and I'd just keep adding on to it. I'd be like, well, I need to do free writing. I need to do breath exercises. I need to work out. I need to do all this shit. And it's like 2 hours later and I'm just like, and now I look back on it and I'm like, I think I was so focused on trying to optimize through a morning routine that I was achieving the opposite effect, where I wasn't achieving kind of, the things that I was trying to do. Whereas now I have this approach where I kind of just like waking up and getting started. Like I have a to-do list in my phone and just getting started on my to-do list right away. I love it. Sometimes I'll have I'll work out in the morning. I've been working out every day, but I'll work out in the morning, but getting up and feeling like, oh, I have to do Wim Hof. I have to meditate. It becomes a burden and it's not beneficial. So now I've just been waking up and I'm like, all right, I'm going to do some editing right now. And I'm going to send some emails. Now I feel like working out and it's so much more enjoyable. I mean, granted, we have the luxury of sort of making our own schedules for the most part, but it's, I love it way more. And you know what? I think trying to reach these levels of, I think meditation and breath exercises are beneficial and they help out with stress relief and all that kind of stuff. But I think trying to force it, to reach this new level of enlightenment or health is doesn't work.
Like trying to be perfect.
Yeah. So now I've just been sort of it's all kind of a mindset when it comes down to it. You just wake up and you're like, yeah, I used to be like, oh, I'm not getting enough sleep. I'm going to be miserable tomorrow. Now I just wake up and I'm like, I know I can function with low sleep. And I'm like, I feel good. I'm happy. So I think it's kind of more just going with the flow.
Yeah, it's nice too because you get a little more variety that way, which is, I think, nice on the brain.
Yeah, totally. The variety is huge. When you get too rigid with it,
you're doing the same, and then you know what's coming the next morning and the next morning and the next morning, and you're like, life has enough of that stuff.
Yeah, and then you don't do it. If you don't do it, then you feel bad.
Yes, it's like we were talking about with the NoFap thing.
Yeah,
you're like, I didn't meditate twice today. I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah,
it's like, you're human.
It's brutal.
That's nice, dude.
Yeah,
it's interesting. Aaron.
Oh, my beef for the week is just family drama. I mean, it's just like we should all just get that shit out of ourselves, out of our system, so we can enjoy our time together because it is limited, like you say, and clean up our own houses so that we're and I don't mean that literally, but I also do mean that literally, but figuratively clean up our own houses so that when we're together, all we have is the good time we have together.
Nice. Dude, my beef for the week is, I got two. One is with smokers. People cook meat in.
Oh.
Yeah, no, not like cigarettes. Meat smokers. I don't think they work. They're never on time. You got to start at 48 hours ahead of when you're serving. I don't even like the meat that much.
Yeah.
I think the grill is more efficient and tastier. And look, I'm here to have my mind changed. So if you're a smoker, hit me up. Send me the messages. Send me the meats. But right now, I'm not digging.
I think to counter that, I think
I knew it was coming.
Just to be able to say Like, I'm smoking a pork butt.
It sounds good.
That's fucking sick.
That is true. It does sound cool. Well, that's how they got me, though.
Yeah.
We'd go on these fantasy football drafts, and the guys were like, hey, we're smoking a pork shoulder tomorrow. I was like, that's so exciting.
That's America right
But
there.
then it's 11 p.m. the next day, and everyone's like, hey, we got to order Domino's.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? Dude? This thing was supposed to be ready 7 hours ago.
When I remember my brother for 4th of July, he's like smoking a pork butt, and he shoved a Budweiser can up its ass. It was awesome.
It's cool. Dude, my next beef is with the loud guys at sports games. I went to the USC Notre Dame game, and I came home and I was like, you know what? I'm out on dudes. Dudes can be kind of obnoxious, incredibly lowbrow, and just relentless. And I went there with a bunch of people who went to Notre Dame. Reggie Hankey, friend of the program, great fucking dude. His brother Regis, another legend. Jimmy Trotter's dad was the one putting on the Bacchanal. We had a great time. They're super fun guys. They're cool. And then, everybody was in the heightened, we're at a sports game kind of energy. I love sports too. It's the fucking greatest. I sound like such a dork saying that though. I like sports. But we go into the game, and we're sitting there with a bunch of ND fans. There's this drunk dude behind us being so loud and obnoxious. And he's pointed. He's trying to annoy us. Like, he's like, Notre Dame sucks. I would fucking hate myself if I went to Notre Dame. Losers. You're poo. You're poo. In retrospect, it was actually kind of funny. Like, when I left the game, I kind of cracked up at all the things he said. But it was just too much. He did it for like 2 quarters, and he wouldn't stop. And it was like, it was starting to bother everybody. And then he just kept yelling and yelling and yelling, and it was like he was getting something else out. It didn't even feel like it was about the game anymore. It was like he had some demon he had to like just throw up on other people. He also threatened to throw up on us at one point. He's like, I'm gonna puke. I'm so drunk, I'm gonna puke all over everybody. And I was like, I finally turned around, I was like, dude, like, I didn't go to Notre Dame, and like, you're annoying me. And he was so drunk, he's like, you a Notre Dame guy? And I was like, no, I didn't go to Notre Dame. I was
I bet he didn't go to USC.
Probably not. I was like, I went to LMU. I'm a Lion. And then he goes, it's so funny. Drunk guys are the best at talking shit. I was trying to be like reasonable. He goes, oh, you're a lion, huh? Lion man. Lion man. And I was like, fuck. I was like, no, dude. I mean, like, it's the mask. And then I was like, dude, just chill. And then he was like, okay, pussies can't handle it. So then I tapped his buddy on the leg, and because this is what I always do. If like one guy's unreasonable, I'll turn to his friends and be like, hey, this is kind of your responsibility. So I tapped his buddy on the knee, and right away his buddy just goes, don't touch me. And then I kind of got like a little heightened, and I was like, oh, because the drunk guy's name was Steve. I'm like, oh, because Steve's in charge? I was like, Steve's the boss. You guys all just listen to Steve. I was like, that's cool. That makes sense. Yeah, that reflects well on you. Steve's the guy who should be talking. And then I turned around, and then we were all just like, tense and stuff, and then Steve apologized actually, but it didn't feel totally sincere. He's like, look, man, I know you went to Notre Dame, it's all right, you win some, you lose some. I was like, yeah, fine, I went to Notre Dame. And he's like, well, I'm sorry, man, it's all good fun. I was like, no, dude, I appreciate the apology, all good. So I guess it wasn't so bad, and I did laugh at all the things he said to me when I left. But I don't know, it's just like, I like yelling at sports games, but I think your friends have to keep you accountable that if it's not funny, you gotta stop yelling. Your friend should be the one to be like, hey, man, my beef's really with his buddies for not just being like, Steve, chill. Like, you're interfering in a way. But yeah, that's my other beef of the week.
There's probably a number where you can text and get that guy booted, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to be that guy?
No, I didn't want to.
I don't want to be that guy. That's true. But
no, I didn't want to get him kicked out. I just was like, I don't know. I just wanted him to stop. Or at least like
but
curb it a little bit.
If they won't stop, I mean, I don't know.
There's nothing you can do. And you can leave, but then you feel bad leaving. You're like, oh, I let this dude.
Yeah.
Like, but he was kind of ruining the experience. But I don't know. I grew up in SoCal, and like, it's not as intense of sports fandom. I didn't grow up in a place like Boston or Philly where it's like, I assume it's more the norm. I'd like to have people write in and tell me what it's like, but I feel like it's that level of volume and aggression, right?
Yeah.
But I think they're more clever there. I feel like Boston fans and Philly fans like know the sport a little better.
There's something you can do.
What?
Right angle is dick.
I thought about it, dude. I was going through all the permutations of how to fight this guy if it went to that point. I was like, he's above me, he's taller. I have to grab his jacket and pull him downwards, and then grab his dick and snap it in half.
Well, first you gotta jack him off. Get him hard.
If I could have made him come, if that would have chilled him out, I would have been like, Steve, do you need a hand job? Because I'll jack you off, buddy. And just beat him off. That's the second, third way. Yeah. Whole crowd cheers for me.
I'm just someone who goes to sporting events. I'm wearing my Cardinal sweater now. I'm always on the away team side. So like, I generally will go alone. So it's like me against 8 dudes. Probably not going to work out.
No.
But I still wouldn't text that number either.
So there is a number you can text.
Most places have one, yeah.
Interesting. I don't think he was that bad, but he was annoying.
He made you beefs.
Yeah, he did. I was pissed. I was fucking pissed. Chad, who's your babe of the week?
My babe of the week. Well, I made this babe my babe of the week because I thought Joe was going to be here, but it's Joe's dick. Just my North Star. It's my Sirius star, the brightest star in the sky. It's my Orion's belt. It's my Jupiter. It's my sun. It's just always such a pleasure knowing that Joe's dick is in the world and it exists and no one's seen it. But it's creating a ripple in space-time. So we, just like with black holes, you can't see it, but you know it's there. And I just think it's just a truly fantastic thing. And, I'm watching Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix, and they're talking about how they, built these structures that basically paying homage to, the cosmos and sort of aligning up these structures with the summer solstice and all that kind of stuff. And so I just want to, put an ask out there to the stokers to see if we could leave something behind for future generations, and especially if there's a, comet impact. I think it would be really helpful for the survivors and future generations to see that what we cared most about was Joe's dick.
Amen. Aaron, who's your babe of the week?
My babe of the week is I've already mentioned elote, Mexican street corn.
Delicious.
You wouldn't think these flavors would go together. Corn, mayonnaise, what?
It's weird.
It's weird. And then cheese, and then chili powder. But it's just a magical thing.
It really is.
And I just realized too, I was telling my buddy about it, and he's like, you could have done is you could have ground up Flaming Hot Cheetos and used that as a dust.
Whoa.
Whole new world. So,
wow.
Get after it, stokers. Try that stuff.
Nice.
If they don't have it where you are, there's tons of recipes online.
Dude, I have another food as my babe of the week. Hawaiian sweet rolls.
Oh, God, yeah.
King's Hawaiian.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, just nothing better in the world.
No.
I think they do about 99% of their sales this time of year.
Yep.
But they should be around all the time. And you can put jelly in them, cheese, hams, the gamut, sweet, savory, whatever. It always makes whatever you're eating better. And literally it makes me on Thanksgiving just be like, I can't wait for tomorrow when all these leftovers are getting jammed in those sweet little buns. And they're cute. And the way they break apart, you don't need a knife. You just kind of put your fingers in, you just open it up.
I like to squish them.
They are fun to squish, right? They got such a nice texture. They're like a stress ball almost.
Yeah.
It's a stress ball you can just throw in your mouth afterwards.
I have a record for how many I've eaten in one sitting.
Can I guess?
Sure.
20.
9.
9?
Only 9.
Those are rookie numbers, dude. Get your numbers up.
Well, I was eating Thanksgiving dinner as well.
Okay, copy that. Copy that.
Yeah.
That's strong.
Yeah.
Stronger.
This year, 3.
I did expect a
eating a lot
bigger
more.
number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I focused on it, I'm sure I could do more.
Yeah, make it the bell of the ball. Chad, who's your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is jizz, dude. It's just, I know we talked about sort of retaining it and all that stuff in this sesh. But I'm also just psyched on jizz. It's cool that, we have something that can sort of, symbolize hey, I came.
It is interesting. I don't know. I don't know if I would have been God if I would have been creative enough to think that's how it should look and that's how it should work.
It's nice that I'm glad it's not like. Actually, it would be cool if it was like bright pink, maybe. But I like the whiteness. It's like milk.
Could use some help, smell wise, or
Yeah.
Does it have a big odor?
I just think in general, like if it smelled better. What if it was vanilla?
That would be nice.
To me, it smells like oleander. This tree. And dude, one time I was walking with my buddy, and I was like, "Dude, this oleander tree smells like jizz." And he's like, "How do you know that?"
How do you know what jizz smells like?
No, I fucking forgot, but it was sort of like, I don't know.
He was accusing you of blowing guys.
Yeah.
Interesting. My legend of the week. Wait, did you do your legend?
No.
Who's your legend of the week?
It's been a while since I've been on the pod in this capacity, but it's still such a great moment in my life that I just had this year. Albert Pujols.
Oh, nice, dude.
I was there for the 700th home run, 699 and 700. Was it September 25th? It's just amazing, and what a career that guy had. I saw it from the beginning because I became a Cardinals fan in 2000. So the next year he was a rookie, and I watched him all the way, and then he disappeared off the radar when he came to Anaheim because he couldn't. In LA, you can't watch Angel games on MLB TV, the app, because it's technically Los Angeles, so it's technically a local game. So to encourage you to physically go there, they don't let you see it. Same with Dodgers. So he disappeared for about 10 years. But then he came back to the Cardinals for his last year, and it was nothing but a joy. Even when it was rough at the beginning of the year and he wasn't hitting, you're still like, well, he's still fucking here. And he's teaching kids on the team, all this stuff. And he's just a great guy. And then when he started fucking raking the second half, it was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that was incredible. Because it looked like those days were gone. And then all of a sudden he snapped back to like prime Pujols.
Yeah.
And was just dropping bombs.
Yeah, he hit 18 in the second half.
That's so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a legend. Great stance, too.
Yeah. Didn't change much.
Classic stance.
His entire career, yeah.
My legend of the week is a pivot from my beef of the week last week. I watched episode 4 and 5 of White Lotus. I'm back. I like it. It's good. They should have started this shit earlier and got more into it. But I like that it's like kind of about how everyone's using sex as like it's like transactional. Huh. Like everyone's using sex to kind of not even to have sex, but work at like a second motive. And it's interesting. And I like it now. I'm on board. It took a while, but you got me.
Dude, I feel that too. I was first episode, I was like, what the fuck? And then by episode 3, I was like, towards the end, I was like, I want to see the next episode.
It started clicking.
Yeah.
So sorry, Mike White. I jumped the gun on you, brother. You know what you're doing.
Well, I mean, what's it going to be? 8 episodes?
Mm-hmm.
Like 3's pretty far in.
And
that's the thing.
They put this. None of the characters were fun, and then they added this fun guy in episode 4, and it like changed the whole energy of the thing.
Yeah.
And now they're adding dimensions to him, and it's all it all feels more sneaky and it has a more sneaky and interesting commentary than I initially thought it was going for. So good for you, White Lotus. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt, but are you guys watching Andor?
No.
I watched the first episode, but I need to get into it. I heard it's amazing.
I mean, it's the guy who made Michael Clayton.
Tony Gilroy, baby.
So, yeah, check it out. It's Star Wars for adults.
All right.
Like,
awesome.
Not adult, but like grown-ups.
Question.
Yeah.
Are there lightsabers?
No, not a one. But you don't miss it. There's so much going on, you don't miss it.
I mean, I did love Mandalorian, and not many lightsabers, especially in the first season.
Yeah.
But some melee weapons, though, right? Like some sword adjacent stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah, like that one guy had, but I didn't count that. I mean, lightsabers, it's when Jedi are doing it really quick.
Flipping it.
Yeah.
For sure.
That guy was a bitch.
Hey, man. Chad, what's your quote of the week?
Since I was doing a lot of dong talk for the last two, I thought I'd go with a historical figure, to round it out.
Smart.
Get back to maturity. So I'm going to go with Winston Churchill. Success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm.
Aaron.
Shit, I don't have one. All right, here. This is the chorus to the song "Place Your Debts" by, of course, my guys, Jimmy Eat World. How do we keep making all the same mistakes? We'd rather have the misery than growing pains.
Yeah, it's the devil you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're just little creatures of habit. Dude, mine is a quote that I saw on this funny comedian, Karan's Instagram. It's kind of different than the theme we were pushing out earlier, but it made me chuckle. With my book in one hand and my drink in the other, what more could I want but fame, better health, and $10 million?
That's funny.
Chad, what's your phrase of the week for getting after it?
Phrase of the week for getting after it is let's lose all sense of space and time.
Nice. That's fun. That's a good way to start a party.
Let's get right angled.
Oh,
Dude,
nice.
that's a good one. Dude, if you said that to me at the start of a party, I would get so fired up.
Dude, I think this guy was interesting to me. He was fired for refusing to get drinks after work. So he sued. He's from France. He sued his company for the right to be boring at work. And it got all the way to the French Supreme Court. And they ruled that companies can't fire their workers for failing to be sufficiently fun. And so I would say it's a good way to take the pressure off before a party. You have the right to be boring.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Well, that's it, Stokers. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're listening, check out the YouTube. Watch it. It's dynamic. We have 3 cameras in here. Keep writing reviews. Those help us out a ton. And just keep spreading the word of Stoke, fellas and ladies. See you later.
Thanks, guys.
If you need advice, these guys are really